I was skeptical about this one at first. I mean, I've seen tiny desktops before, some of them feel like they're just a motherboard in a shoebox, but the Lenovo ThinkStation P3 Tiny looked too good to be true. It's only 1 liter, yet it's packing an Intel Core i5-14500 Vpro, 16GB of DDR5 RAM, and a 512GB NVMe SSD. I thought, how can something this small handle real work? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So, I decided to put it through its paces. First off, the size. This thing is genuinely tiny, about the size of a small stack of coasters. I set it behind my monitor, and it's basically invisible. That's perfect for a clutter-free desk, especially in tight spaces like home offices or small studios. But don't let the size fool you. It's got a 14-core Intel i5-14500 Vpro processor under the hood, and it handles multitasking like a champ. I had Chrome running with 20 tabs, Slack open, a couple of Excel spreadsheets, and even a light video editing program going, and it barely broke a sweat. Now, the RAM and storage are both upgradable, which is a big plus. I started with the 16GB DDR5 and 512GB SSD, but if I ever need more power, I can pop in more RAM or swap in a larger SSD. That's something you don't always get with ultra-compact PCs. And the connectivity. It's got dual HDMI, DisplayPort, USB-C, and even a 2.5G Ethernet port. I hooked it up to 2 4K monitors without any issues, and the Wi-Fi 6 kept things snappy even when I was streaming and downloading at the same time. Security is another area where this mini workstation shines. It comes with Lenovo's ThinkShield suite, which includes things like BIOS protection, encryption, and secure authentication. For anyone handling sensitive data, whether you're a freelancer, a small business owner, or just someone who values privacy, it's a nice layer of protection without having to jump through hoops. I also tested it for some light engineering work. I ran a few CAD simulations and even tried some basic 3D modeling. The i5-14500 Vpro handled it smoothly, and the system stayed cool the entire time. No fan noise, no overheating, just quiet, reliable performance. That's a big deal if you're in a shared space or just prefer a quieter work environment. The Windows 11 Pro setup was seamless, too. Everything installed without a hitch, and all my usual apps played nicely with it. I didn't run into any driver issues or compatibility problems, which is always a relief with new hardware. Now, let's talk about the downsides. The first thing I noticed is that it doesn't have a ton of internal space for upgrades. While the RAM and SSD are user-accessible, if you're looking to add a dedicated GPU or extra storage drives, you're out of luck. It's really designed for what's already inside. Also, the cooling fan is pretty quiet, but if you're running it at full tilt for hours on end, it does ramp up a bit. It's not loud, but it's noticeable in a quiet room. Overall, though, this thing punches way above its weight. It's perfect for professionals who need a reliable, compact machine for office work, light engineering, or even creative tasks. It's also great for anyone who wants to declutter their desk without sacrificing performance. If you're in the market for a tiny but powerful workstation, the Lenovo ThinkStation P3 Tiny is definitely worth a look. The link is below if you want to check it out. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Lenovo ThinkStation P3 Tiny Mini Desktop Workstation, Intel Core i5-14500 Vpro, 16GB DDR5 RAM, 512GB NVMe SSD, Win 11 Pro, Wi-Fi 6 mini PC workstation for EngineeringBusinessOffice sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like world's smallest 1L workstation and ultra-compact versatility this and MIL-SPEC reliability and ThinkShield security suite built with actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Lenovo ThinkStation P3 Tiny Mini Desktop Workstation, Intel Core i5-14500 Vpro, 16GB DDR5 RAM, 512GB NVMe SSD, Win 11 Pro, Wi-Fi 6 mini PC workstation for EngineeringBusinessOffice usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.